Hi friends, now is the time that we need to talk. Every year I know in the middle of the year there is a time where everybody needs to talk to each other and try to find out where we are and what we are doing wrong or what we are doing right. So the purpose of my video today is to help you draw a timeline for the remaining time. So first of all, I want to reassure you that the enough time is left still. It is not like that the time is lost or can I do a wonder in the next 5 6 months? Or can I do something? People are telling me to leave it and all. You have to gear up and know that there is enough time to do things. It is like 6 7 months are massive. I have seen students over the past years that, I don't know if you saw a YouTube video interview that I put on the Dam City channel itself, where we had a few girls who had improved from 14,000 to rank 50, 45 in the AIMS exam in a period of 4 months. So time is enough. So please be reassured that time is enough. Don't blame time. You have enough time to go about things. So, but why we are talking today right now is because we are right now in this part of the calendar. The exam is somewhere here, the exam is somewhere in the January. So, we are in the middle, and in the middle, we need to reassess the situation. Why reassess is because when you assess the situation in the January, remember, many of you started studying in January, some of you started studying in March. Okay, some April, some are starting in May. It happens. It's okay. It happens to everybody. Someone is starting at some time, someone is starting at some other time. But now notice, when you started off, you thought there is so much time left, and you started making plans like a Superman at times. And the Superman like plan was, I will buy every resource available in the market. I will become a collector of all resources. I will download this. I will buy this. And you were, on that kind of a mode. But now when you are in the middle, you know the realistic possibilities. You know, what you are able to do in a brief time and what all is pending for you. So it's time to reassess your situation. Now, when we are in mid-year, the first thing that strikes us is that you will start getting a feeling that, sir, I have forgotten whatever I had done in the past, and whatever is left is left. Should I start revising already? And are others revising? So I want to help you to draw the timeline here. So whenever we are looking at a January exam, okay, so whenever we are looking at a January exam, the key to understanding is that in the end, most people are revising twice or thrice. Most people are revising maybe twice or thrice. But you don't begin your revision earlier part of the year. You begin it in the later part. So let's draw a timeline here. Let's, take October for example. This is where DAMS will be conducting its DVT session. So what is DVT? DVT is the most sought after revision program that we conduct. So if you notice now, what I want you to learn from us is that we have been doing it for last 20 years. And we've been doing this entire revision program called as DVT for last 2 decades now. And we have timed it to October. So if we are planning a revision session for you in October, that means there is something about October that is ideal for revision. Now that ideality comes with the remaining period. This is the ideal period for revision. Let me plan it for you. So I want you to look at this first week of October where we are doing a DVT session, and you can see for yourself that mid of the October is somewhere we are doing our CBT test. Mid of the October we are doing the DAMS CBT. Now once you know this, I want you to mark a date here which can be said, we can say 15th of October. Now we are today in July. I am marking a date for mid-October as a ballpark. So this is the time I want you to go and utilize it going forward. Going forward. It is not yet, the time has not yet come to start revising on a full-blown manner. Even if you do it right now, you will not be efficient. Try and understand. If you start revising right now, you have 6 months, you will try to do more, you will try to do over. I don't want you to do over, I want you to revise appropriately. So we go forward till here, and then we draw a line that, okay, after this I'll start revising. So once you get the timeline now, you have an idea in your mind that, okay, if my classes are ending here, you can, plan. So wherever your classes are ending, after that you have some time to mop up your pendencies. That means that at DAMS, we desire that you do a class, you make notes, you do our DAMS question bank practice, you do other class tests. But in that, things that are going on in life, sometimes some things will be pending. So you need to leave a margin. So that margin is that, by 15th October, I want you to finish your classes, finish your pendencies. This is what I want you to. I don't really look at your, that you would be revising at this time. But after this, I want you to mark the entire time for revision. Now, when you're revising, there will be some landmarks coming in the way. What landmarks to notice? The landmarks to keep in mind are, let me remove it for you. In November, you will be having your central exams. You will be having AIMS exam, PJ exam, JIPMER exam. Central exams will be there. December will be totally free. December will be totally free. November, you also have the exams to go on. And in the November exams, the most important exam for all of us is AIMS. And there is a difference between AIMS and NEET. When we are appearing for AIMS, the paper is basic sciences predominant. First, second prof has a significant chunk of questions. While when we are appearing for NEET, 150 questions are clinical. 50% of the paper is clinical, and then 25 PSM. Basic sciences are only 125 out of 300. So that gives us a sequence that, okay, when I'm revising from October 15 onwards, the first exam that I'm going to hit is AIMS. And in AIMS, they are going to have basic sciences predominant. So I will, prioritize basic sciences in my first revision. There onwards, all subjects. December, all subjects, so that I'm able to do 2 to 3 revisions before I give my NEET exam, which is the exam which is going to yield me most of the questions and most of the PG seats. Now let me show you, this is the one kind of timeline to draw. The second kind of timeline to draw is a chart like this. I will zoom to make it clear. The first column I made for you is that you need to have a table like this in front of you in your classroom, in your room, which is saying subjects. These are the subjects that I'm doing. Okay. And after each subject, you need to mark for yourself, have I attended my class? Okay. So once you've done with the class, put a check mark. Have I made my own notes? Please put a check mark. Then if I'm done with it, did I do the DQB or the DAMS question bank? Please put a tick mark if you've done it. Then have you done the class test or not? If you've done the class test, what was your score or what was your rank? And in between, we need to look at a test called as grand test. You need to look at a test called as grand test, where we have, you can put the numbers on, so that when you have those tests with numbers, you can see which one of you have done and what is your rank going on. Because of this activity, you should have a mental graph. If you can do a physical one, it's great, which will be telling you that, okay, this is the point where I am. This is the percentage and rank I'm scoring today, and I'm doing it tomorrow, like this. You should see the curve going up. That will give you confidence. Now, when you look at my graph now, it will make you a little worried that, okay, I've done only these many subjects and others are left. Okay. So, this kind of picture will come to you. You'll know what is done, what is left. Whatever you keep doing, please do keep ticking mark, and make a plan. Now, once you have this kind of plan in mind, let me utilize this to show you a bigger chart now. For every month now, I want you to have a chart like this. In this chart, you should have your own targets to meet. That in this month, what is it that I want to achieve? I want to finish my notes of this class, the subject that I'm doing. I want to finish the class test. I want to make sure that I've done the DQB. I'm allotting 2 days, maybe 3 days. Okay, like this, you need a planning for each month also. So what you need is, now please try and understand. What I made was a macro picture of the entire year, to understand what is left behind, when to start revision, and then how many revisions should I target in the last 2.5 months. And then I showed you a macro picture of the entire subjects and the things to be done, that you want to do the tests, you want to do the class test, the DAMS question bank, you want to do tests, class notes, grand test, and you make them in a chart so that you know what is being finished when. And then you need a micro picture for each month, that, okay, this is what I want to finish in this month, and you put the subject's name, test name, and you keep targeting things for yourself so that you are able to take more out of your time. So I hope this helps you to draw out your timeline. But why is all this important? Let me explain to you. Now, any time you give an exam, what your rank will be made up of, your rank will be made up of a blend of your theory learning and your MCQ practice. So this is what I would recommend to all my DAM students would be that make sure that your first and foremost resource will be your class notes. When I say class notes, I mean the notes that you have made with your own hands in sitting in the classroom. It's very, very important. Like, don't, chase other people notes. Don't go for notes that somebody else has made. You will end up wasting a lot of time because somebody else's handwriting will never make sense. You need to use your own hand to write down. That will make sense to you when you're trying to understand. That is my first idea for you, that focus on your own class notes. This is the first resource to go for whenever you are preparing. You have to first make notes. So the goal of the first half of your preparation is to make notes, collect information. That is correct. Then you need to learn how to apply them in MCQs. So MCQ will be of two types. In the first go, until the October 15, will be of two types. Testing mode, class test mode, DQB mode. Okay. Now, which is more important? To me, CT is more important because CT is where you do 75 questions at one go and finish, submit your answers, then listen to the teacher on a video or you see the explanations to learn it and find out what is going wrong. On the other hand, DQB is the instant gratification. Instant gratification means that you put a question, you mark it, you see the answer. When the instant gratification is happening, you tend to cheat yourself. Like, for example, you are thinking A or B. You're thinking either the answer is A or the answer is B. You really don't know what is the answer. But when you click it, you see the answer. Oh, you cheat that. Okay, I was thinking A. Well, actuality, you were not thinking A. You were confused between A and B. In CT, you have to commit the entire paper. Then you see. So this should be your priority 1. This should be your priority 2. Why did I make these priorities? Because so that you know if you are in shortage of time, which is possible. Sometimes you may be in a crunch of time. Then do not miss out on my first priority here. So the theory priority is class notes, then CT, then DQB. This is what I want you to do for every subject till October 15. Now, many of the DAM students would also be using a resource called as Talking CRS, where we have CRS material with video lectures on each topic, and I'm sure many of you are utilizing it. But my suggestion is that now if you are using it now, finish it. If you were you are still pending with lot of that, then if you have weakness in any subject, cover it up with Talking CRS now. But this goes lower down now because after August to read theory you will have less time. So try to finish as many CRS before maybe August 15 or August or September. That is okay. But then if you feel that, okay, maybe it's a short subject, it is going to yield me 10 questions, you are very good at your theory, you have attended the class well, and you feel that you already know it, then you can maybe, put it on the lower down of the burner. But this should be your sequence of events. But now I come to the most important parts here. The most important parts are GTs. What are GTs? GTs are your grand test. How many questions do you have in grand test? Grand test in DAMS would be having 300 questions and each of them will come with a video solution. Now, this is the critical thing that I want you to know. Now, in these months, every month you will feel as if you're in middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere, you're like, sir, I don't remember what I've studied in the past. Abhi main sab bhul gaya, main kya karu? So you need to pay regards to all subject at least once every month. How do you do that? You give a test. You give a full course DAMS grand test every month. If you were giving it so far, I'm so happy with you. If you're not giving it so far, make sure that you make a plan now that from July till December, I will divide my remaining time, and in DAMS you have around 12 grand tests. So you can divide the time. If you were not doing it till now, maybe once every 15 days, once every 10 days, try to do 12 such activities. So when you finish the grand test, that is the moment where you listen to all subjects teachers telling you about the paper. It will take 1 day to assess, but it will make sure that you have that internal cycle of digging the subconscious, finding out about the subject. You become used to it. This is critical to be done now. You have to start doing it. And then I let me make a timeline now for you. In October, when you start revising with SWTs. In DAMS, we give you another test, like I hope you know this. There is a test for each subject. For example, for radiology, there is a CT, but there is also a test called as SWT with a video solution. So now after this, I want you to go to the, SWT, give the SWT. This will be having a separate set of questions. So you do the paper with your residual knowledge, listen to the video, and then start revising notes. And this notes revision has to be done notes thrice. In between, I also want you to know we will be doing a session called as DVT. This will be 36-hour revision for you. This DVT, you have to bring a fresh notebook in the course and use DVT as your last day revision. So let me explain to you. So till October 15, concentrate on class notes, finishing your classes, attending classes, making notes. Try finishing as many CTs as possible. If something is left, you will go for it in the period that you leave for, mop-up round or some time that you leave for it. DQB, then any subject you're feeling weak, do a CRS, talking CRS. If you've already done them, okay, it's okay. Then grand test every month, at least once. If you have not done them so far, twice every month. Listen to the all subject teachers on the videos. It will take one day, but it is mandatory to spend that kind of time, because that is the time where you are touching all subjects in one month. And then October, start with SWT, listen to the video solutions, notes, multiple revisions, DVT, make notes, last day DVT copy. In between, there will be things like happening here, will be like CBTs, DAMS CBT. DAMS will give you, we've already given you a AIMS capsule for revision. There are previous papers, video solution available on the eMedicos. So utilize all this to, in between when you are not feeling like studying, because there will be times when you are not feeling like actively going forward. So at that time, instead of taking a break, you can sometimes utilize that time to do passive learning. Listen to the teachers that we are giving you. There will be, things like AIMS capsule, previous paper. Do not miss out on the opportunity to go and give the test in the realistic environment of the CBT, where you go to give a test in the computer centers. We are conducting now 4 CBTs in a year. We did one in the April, one in June. I'm sure many of you were attending it. Now we'll be doing one in October, one in December. So that will give you an idea on how the real paper will feel like and the real environment feels like. So we are training you now. I hope you understand with my timelines. So with my timelines, the reason I'm showing you all this is because I want you to have that confidence that this is the time you had, this is the time you're utilizing. This is not enough to finish all the subjects. Okay, so don't be so harsh on yourself. Give yourself more time to finish things, some time to finish pendencies. Utilize the revision opportunities that we are giving you, then the CBT, then there onwards you go ahead and do multiple revisions. So that is why we have given you 2 sets of tests in your login, a CT and a SWT, so that you do CT along with the classes, SWT when you start revising. And then grand tests have to be started in this duration only. You need to do them from April. If you were not doing it, it's okay, but please do now. You need to do grand tests from this location, and so that you have enough practice of 300 questions and you're touching all subjects once in a while, so to feel confident they are inside your head. Otherwise, every time we start losing the base. And then I told you how to make a macro picture of your subject, see what you want to do, what are resources you have, what all do you want to use, and how do you want to use them. And then a micro picture for every month, and let me add it to you. Then plan out your priorities. How do you want to go about things? When will you start revising? How will you do them? And try to feel under control. You have to, whenever we're doing a tougher task, we start with the winning assumption. We start that I'm going to win it. You have to tell yourself every day that you're playing to win. You're doing it to win. Whenever negativity strikes you, remind yourself to come out of it. Whenever people keep telling you negative things, block them out of your way, because we are not here to listen to negative things. Second thing is, you also need to know there will be people who will be using some other things. So don't get panicked by it. Once you're, with us, that, these are the most trusted resources for last 2 decades for PG entrance. So you're on the right track. Don't be too bogged down, but somebody else using something else. Don't bring that into picture at all. Focus on three things: building up your concepts, which you're doing in when you're listening to the class. Make sure that you do your learning in the class by interacting, by answering when things are being asked in the class, so that you're mindfully learning all the time. These things will build up your subconscious, and that will help you in the exam. Then we do some MCQ practice in two modes: test based mode and Q bank based mode. You try to do them both, but if you have shortage of time, test based mode is my priority. Don't be fooled by people telling you 100, 500,000 questions, 1 lakh, 1 billion questions. They don't really work. A well made 75 question paper is worth more than crores of questions on the other side. You don't need to do so many. You need to learn how to apply what you've learned. You need to apply them. That is the goal. So I always believe CT has more value than a QBank, but both should be done. But if in shortage of time, prefer CT over DQB for a short subject. Larger subjects, do both of them. Then CRS. If you are feeling weak about a big subject, you need to do it. GT, I've already explained to you. Revision starts with SWT, then notes, then notes, then notes. Last day, only DVT notebook. Please do previous papers that we have loaded for you on the eMedicos app, AIMS capsule, CBT. So I hope, with this, you get an overview of how to manage your timeline from here onwards. And people who will do the preparation in a well organized manner will win. It is, you always feel as if, there is a lot of chaos. But when you try to organize things, you find, okay, there is some sense somewhere. You start organizing them, you create your own macro and micro checklist, you start marking ticks, and you start winning the game. When you put a lot of tick marks that, okay, I've done this, you start getting confidence. When you start getting confident, you start putting in more effort. The output shows on your own self. You become more confident. You go into a positive loop. You push harder and you make things happen. So this is what I sincerely believe. And I also believe that there is enough time left now to make a big impact. Even if you have not done it so far, there is enough time left to make a big impact. I'm sure it is inside you. You need to keep reminding yourself. You need to keep reminding yourself that you have a personal legend to fulfill. It is not that, you would not have come this far otherwise. Many of you would, now agree with me that you're already doctors. You have that special thing inside you. You would not have come this far if you did not make the proper, if you were not destined for a bigger thing. Now you just need to organize yourself, do a organized work ahead, make your attempt count. I wish you all the best. I'm on the other side, waiting to take your interview on the other side. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.